Hello and welcome back to our Stationeers Mars Survival Guide. This is our beautiful base that will get some upgrades today, which I'm gonna get to in a second. But first, I'm gonna show you some components of this base that we have today. On the right hand side you see the big waste tank that is actually an output from the furnace. Then on the left hand side you can see our hydroponics and currently our ice crusher and also cooling system that we have implemented in the previous episode, together with these water gauges and gas gauges, which is just a placeholder. And here we have our furnace. It's a regular furnace at the moment, which I want to upgrade to an advanced furnace. And because of that, today we will be building a gas filtration system, and it looks like this. This is what I'm trying to get. So each gas into its own separate, container and with a filtration unit, and hopefully that will make it go great. So without further ado, the problem with this is that it requires an enormous amount of resources. So off camera I have been grinding like crazy, and that's the reason why you haven't seen a couple of episodes in the back of Stationeers, because I had to grind a lot of materials, a lot of iron, steel and all that, and there's no point of me showing it like 5 times over. So in this episode we will be focusing on building this bad boy, and it's gonna be magnificent. Yes. So right, there we go. First we put the water tank, then I will plan to put the pollutant tank or the nitrogen tank. I'll see, dependent on the basically a coolant gas that I plan to use for hydroponics. So that's why those two have been put on the right hand side. And then come the other small tanks, which one will be for the CO2, one will be for the nitrogen, one will be for the oxygen or oxidizer, and another one will be for the is it not helium? It's hydrogen, yes. So we're just placing up to make sure that we have enough of these tanks. There we go. I've been a little bit rusty when it comes to, designing all these, filtration systems. I have to double check what's the, pollutants and everything. But that being said, so the plan immediately from the get-go is to color them. So I will put, red for the volatiles / hydrogen. Then blue I'm gonna be for the oxygen. Oh wait, I have the water for blue. Yeah, I may need to revisit that. Okay, so I'm gonna put it white rather, because when it comes to the filter colors it's also white. Then I'm gonna be placing the yellow is gonna be the pollutant tank, the black is gonna be the nitrogen tank, and the gray is gonna be the CO2 tank. And I know you say, I hear you, GrunfWorks, you have so much CO2 lying out there in the world. Why would you ever want to build a pure CO2 tank? Well, you can call me a little bit of purist, but I really like to have the pure gas, so I know when I'm mixing, I want to know what I'm mixing. And there is a reason, as you can see, I'm actually painting not only the tanks, but the, steel frame that it's sitting on top, because we will be conducting the piping from underneath. And in order to conduct the pipe underneath, we want to know which gas you're, channeling. So by making the frame the same color, it's very easy for you to realize when you get the pipe, oh, it's that gas. So you don't need to look up, and sometimes, you get regolith in between, so that's what makes things a lot harder. All right, let's put these colors away. We don't need them right now. All right, so it's time to actually start doing the piping and, the filtration units. So it's basically kit atmospherics, and we don't want it to be the, AC conditioner, but we want the filtration unit. So you click and then one roll of the mouse, and that's it. So I've initially thought I'd build like 4 or 5 filtration units, or 4 filtration units, because I didn't think I needed one for the CO2, but then I later changed my mind, so ended up making all of them. And some of them, as you can see, I get to place a little bit off, so I need to correct things, but That's life. All right, this will be the pollutant filtration unit. I'm gonna place it right about here. Good. And that means I have to correct first the previous one because it's been pushed one tile back. Everything requires very accurate placement, people, so, you know, heads up. What can I tell you? All right. That's all the construction unit. Then I want to be placing the filtration unit for the CO2. I know, it sounds redundant, but in my head it isn't. So, bear with me. There we go. Then I want to be placing some of the pipes, and I want to be making some of the filters as well. I'm actually thinking of doing one more steel frame, and I'm gonna show you why. There we go. And a steel sheet. Perfect. All right, so, and here's our lovely stacker. So I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna take the steel sheet, because the passageway beneath one is actually hard to walk on, and I'm always tripping. So I'm actually gonna be putting the side frame, steel frame side, on this side. There we go. So that I can actually go down via the staircase, and also why can't I construct that steel frame? Hydration critical, you don't say. I guess I'll just need to drink some water then, won't I? Okay. For some reason it doesn't allow me to finish it. Then in that case I'll just drink a little bit of water, and then we'll continue with the construction. Right. Alright. So. Actually, in hindsight, I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna need to move these tanks one back, actually. Or maybe I won't. No, actually, I think they might be good. No, they're good. If the entrance is on the crossing, then I think they will be good. Alright. So, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go connect these with the AC units. And sorry guys that I'm building, you know, one of these at a time, not, you know, tank by tank, because it's easier when I have already the part selected. I mean, it's an easier and quicker way to build, see? You just place these parts and then don't need to do it like 4 times over again, so makes the constructions a little bit easier and streamlined. There we go, and now we need to actually connect this stuff. There we go. Make sure that everything is connected. Come on. Perfect. And now we need to make sure that we connect the other parts, and that's these input. I think this is the input, and then the filtered part comes out the side, unfiltered comes out at the front. So that's the idea. So, come on. There we go. You're gonna go like, should I put a corner here? Maybe like this guy. Hold on, turn around. There we go. That. Because the unfiltered air, this will be a parallel filtration unit. So it's not gonna be a serial. There's 2 types where you can actually first take the gas out of one and then proceed it to the second, which is basically means that you will be filtering in series. That the remnants, so for example, you take multiple units and then first you filter out volatiles. Then everything else goes into the second filtration unit, which it would become something else. And then everything from that goes into the third one. But that's really inefficient. This I found to be much more, you know, efficient and quick actually, is because then that case you put the gas mix in basically with all of them at the same time, and each of them extracts exactly the gas that it's supposed to. So all of them are working at the same time. It's much more, you know, power efficient. It's much more quick. And I just found that it simply works for me in a much better way than it would normally. So, what? Alright, that came unexpected. I never expected to fall through this part. Okay, let's put connect this guy. And as you can see, now I'm starting to fiddle in terms of getting everything connected. And actually, now it's a good thing because we will have everything connected rather soonish. Here we go. All right. So that's input pipe and all of the inputs connected nicely into the main, well, into the main feed. So what now I want to be building, I now want to be building a vent that will take from this exhaust from the waste tank. It's gonna go back to this filtration system because we will have multiple sources of gases for our filtration systems to take. The waste tank being one of the most important ones. Right, I'm actually gonna remove this valve and I'm gonna place it like this. There we go, and I'm gonna place this valve here-ish rather. So hold on, I actually need to connect valve here, good. And then later on I'm just gonna connect it because this valve here, the regular valve, is actually not really needed because on the other side we have a volume pump, and if that volume pump is off, then basically nothing gets in or out. So I had my pipes more, you know, on the printing queue, just making sure that they're being printed like crazy. So I'm gonna pick those up. There we go, another 20 pipes. Those are actually much needed. I will be connecting more, so yeah. All right, cool. Let's pick those up and then we will be connecting everything through and through. So it takes a lot of pipes to actually put this, and it took really lots of materials to grind them up actually to get this thing done. So like I said, sorry that I haven't posted in a while, I mean stationeers, and a next couple of projects that will be coming will be equally as big. So, all right, now we'll get to what? Okay, this planet clearly hates me. You know what? I'm gonna connect you and I don't care what you think. There we go. Come on. Stick it. No rain nor sandstorm will prevent me from doing my thing. Well, apparently it will. I'm actually go squirm in like a little chicken because, not because I want to, but what I'm afraid actually is that I drop a material or a tool or something and that just wind just blows it away completely. And anyway, I think it's time that we actually make ourselves some nice corn soup, don't you think? So, our batteries needs recharging and everything, so I thought might as well. I'm gonna harvest some corn and make us some nice corn soup while we wait. I might even accelerate the whole process a little bit because, I don't know, personally I don't mind it. I'm probably gonna skip. Let's replant the corn. For now, I'm only growing corn because it has high tolerance for all the stupid amount of temperature and pressure that I can put it in. So that's why. It's not because I really. I mean, I do like corn. It's really a nice. Especially I like it, you know, when you put it next to the fire and you just crackle. So it's like, you know. I don't know if it's called roasted corn or grilled corn. Grilled corn, I think, would be the correct term. I don't know. So, let's do. We have a packaging over here. We're gonna drop the empty can inside and then... Oh, wait. I cannot add just the corn. I need to cook it, obviously. Oh, right. Okay, microwave. Put in the corn. Turn it on and cook it. And here we have some corn as well. However, this corn is in much better condition. Okay, ding. Alright, there we go. We leave the rest in the fridge, which I have lovingly moved here, as you can tell. Because here is our cooking station, as you can see, so it makes sense that we put it in here. Alright, so one cooked corn. I think this is last cooked corn. I just skipped over. There's no point of you guys seeing me repeating 5 times the same thing. Okay, put it down and let's boil ourselves some corn soup. Just like Mommy used to make. Now, it's homemade corn soup, because I made it at home. And the storm has passed, which actually puts us to continue working on our filtration system. Now, the second thing that we need to get there is power, obviously. And as you can tell, I have dug out the area underneath, and that's the reason why I was actually painting those frames in the first place. However, I'm gonna put the heavy cable because all these filtration units take a lot amount of power, and I will be hooking also the furnace to it. So that means that will draw a tremendous amount of power, and that's why I want to have it on a separate power grid. There we go. Let's just take our drill and drill things out. So the power cable will be coming underneath the staircase, and it will be going to a power controller that should be on the wall there somewhere, and then feeding into the into the filtration units, and then it will be followed into their specific and also maybe advanced furnace that I plan to build soonish. But none of these can build until we have the gas filtration in place, and that's basically the reason why I really wanted to... Okay, so shall I put it... No. Sorry. Wrong area. I'm gonna put the APU here. There we go. I don't want it to be in the way, and it's like this, it's actually just out of the way, while it still provides power to everything that I need. So I think it's a good place to put it. And it feels kind of, you know, it makes sense to have the power controllers on the wall, right? I mean, who would in right mind would put the power controller on the floor? Doesn't make sense, right? So, yeah, I'm just gonna jack it up here and connect it. There we go, come on. Alright, come on, come on. Wire cutters, and then... Alright, that makes the whole power cable connected as expected. So now we need to hook up the filtration machines, and from that I will need a regular cable that will be continuing in the same direction as the initial cable. And it's actually good that it's coming a little bit from underneath. That's why I like it so much. So I want it to be one area, let's say tile lower than everything, because it will come from underneath to the correct, you know, bus that we will be using. So there we go. At least there's some point of having these stupid frames, you know, where you can walk through them. To me, this sounds like a little bit inconsistent. I would expect if the other frames are solid that I can go through them. I mean, I would expect that this one is too. Okay, let's turn it upwards, and then it will just go out there. Good. There we have it. So now I know where it exits, and now we need to connect it. Come on, I don't want to fall through the scenery once again. Okay, so... here is the guy coming out. What I need to do is now I will remove this. This was just a placeholder for me. And now that I have removed it, I want to be placing this junction. Good. And the junction shall be connected like here-ish. There we go. Good. So now it's just a matter of hooking up each entire unit. And also, guys, I will be connecting the tanks, as you can see. The reason for that is I'm connecting the tank's data port, so I can read the readings from there and actually know what's my temperature and pressure on the gases stored here. I figured while I'm already printing a metric crap on tape of the power cables, I might as well be hooking everything up so that later on we can just use the data as we see fit. So that's kind of my reasoning, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Right, there we go, placed, and now just a matter of hooking things up in the correct way. Perfect, come on. There we go. Awesome. Awesome, there we go, beautiful. I'm connecting more. There we go, and then we need to just connect, I think, 2 more tanks, and then we're golden. Or actually, that one is connected. What about the blue tank? The blue tank isn't yet connected to anything. Okay. Well, the blue tank I still want to connect, so because the blue tank will have a little bit different. I don't know if how the water gets in. Water should have its own water pipes, and how the water gets filtered, I have no idea. Do you hook up like the gas pipe to you know, atmospherics unit, or how do you connect it? Do let me know in the comments below. I'll review them before I make the next episode. So, okay, time to make the actual filters. Now, I'm not gonna make the heavy filters because due to the high cost when it comes to the, for the time being, for first batch, until we get our advanced furnace and everything going, regular filters will do. And 2 of them, they will give us some filtration time in terms of getting the, you know, the amount of gas that we want. So, okay, we have, let's see, filter. Okay, so we filtered oxygen. So we filtered volatiles, then we're gonna put oxygen, then we're gonna put pollutant, and then we're gonna put nitrogen first, and then later on we're gonna come up with CO2 as well. All right. So let's say filter pollutant, yes. 2, please. By the way, guys, if you're liking these guides and if you appreciate the content, do let me know by, you know, hitting that like button. It really helps me out a great deal and it motivates me to do more stuff and cooler stuff. So, right, with that thing mentioned, with that same part of promotion out of the way, I'm actually, you know, now putting nitrogen tanks. There we go. All right, so now let's take care of the filters. So here we have the nitrogen. 1, 2, perfect. This is the CO2, I don't have those yet. Let's put the oxygen. See, the same color on the label is the same color of the tank. That's what I was actually shooting for. And the volatiles, and then pollutants should be yellow. They should be further down the road. There we go. Pollutant, come on. 1 and 2. Perfect. All right, so we have CO2 filters, and then we're gonna hook up and test the whole solution, of course. Okay, we have 790 kilopascals in the waste tank, containing of mixed amount of gases. And I'm just gonna plop down the CO2 filters before we actually engage this whole filtration system and start testing and see if it will be working correctly. I just need to double check that everything is hooked up correctly. So, hold on, I actually need to take an extra battery because my battery will die pretty soon. Let's see. Now, there we go. This is the battery, small battery. I'm going to be placing it in the area power controller. I just need a crowbar to open it. I know technically you don't need a battery there, but my view is, I mean, if the power outage occurs and you still need to make something work, I think it's always a good idea to have a little bit that extra oomph in terms of the battery backup, whatever, so you don't get stuck. So let's see. They are empty. All right. Each of these tanks are empty. I think we can actually establish that before the test. Good. Then what we want to be putting is we want to be turning the APU on. Sorry, not the APU, the filtration units. Now they're all set to on, but note they haven't sucked in any of the gases yet because I haven't turned on the valve. So now when I turn on the valve, as you can see, the pressure starts to drop dramatically, as does all the amount of the gases together. And now if the test was successful, each of the gases should end up in their respective tanks. Let's see. Here we have hydrogen, 100%. Perfect. Oxygen, good. CO2, yes. Nitrogen, perfect. They're not exactly in the same ratios because they have never been in the same ratios from the beginning. And here we should have the pollutant. Yes, we do. All right. So that means that our gas filtration system is working. And we don't need to completely make the vacuum in the big tank, so this is not the point of the test. It's just a matter of seeing that our filtration system works as advertised. And the reason for that valve in the beginning, I want to have this tank pressurized to a good amount. And as you can tell, 55% is really CO2. But worry not, CO2 will be an excellent input into our hydroponics unit. So that will be fed directly into the hydroponic unit instead of that small, if you remember, active vent that was sucking the air over there. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. All right, I'm just waiting for a pressure to drop before I call this experiment a huge success. And basically, yeah, I'm pretty happy. Okay, let's put away this, close the valve. This will drain the gases from the rest of the pipes fully, so I will turn them on. In the future, I will of course automate this so I don't put them one by one, because turning on them one by one is good and it's very selective. However, if I want to turn them all on at the same time, I think it would be much simpler, but just by a flip of the switch. So, and it will be more handy, right? So, yeah. Alright, so with that being said, I hope you liked this episode. As always, you know what to do, guys. Smash that like button, and if you want to see more, do subscribe to my channel. Here is the links, and if for those who want to support me more, there's Patreon and YouTube membership. I'll see you on the next one.